Dajahao. Today we're taking a look at the third week of my training in 2022 as part of the Wushu52 project. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back everyone, I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks again for all your support. Before we get into the video, just a little bit of housekeeping. You may have noticed that I started posting up some of my old Wushu videos that never got onto the old Wushuzilla channel. As I've been going through sort of my hard drive archives, I noticed there was a bunch of stuff I never posted up, even though I had made trailers for the footage and said coming soon, like 10 years ago. So I'm going to slowly be putting some of that stuff on my off days. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's really fun to look back on those videos and see some of these amazing athletes doing their stuff. Like that Yang Yuhong Chanchuan form is just fantastic. But let's get into it. I don't want to waste any time. No fluff, no peripherals. Let's just get into what happened this past week. Overall, it went really well. I'm really happy with how things turned out. Could it be better? Of course, it could be better. But I'm still pretty happy. This week, Monday and Thursdays were strength training days, and Tuesday and Sunday were my Wushu days. And Monday, I hadn't yet set up my workout area, so I used what area I could to do some of my training. Overall, it went pretty good despite my foot and ankle mobility and pain issues. Let's take a look at the footage and see what happened. So everyone say hi to Milo. In case you're wondering, this is why my shirt always has hair and dander on it. He likes to perch on my chest and knead my right shoulder, so that's what's happening there. It's not me, I swear. Alright, so on Monday, I was trying out some gym equipment I got a while back that uses elastic bands to provide up to 300 pounds of resistance for weight training. I used it for shoulder presses, curls, and shoulder shrugs, just to see how it worked, and I was pretty happy with it. I also did some pull-up exercises with the dip bar. Please stop staring at my gut, I know it's huge. I did some hamstring stretches with my incline step. And I did some elevated and assisted split squats. And I also did some kettlebell swings, but for the most part it was a somewhat light workout, just to get the blood flowing. Then we come to Tuesday. On Tuesday evening after work, I went down to the park to do some Wushu. It was actually really nice to be outside and doing Wushu. At first I felt a little bit self-conscious, but fortunately there's not that many people at the park right around sunset. And I'll be honest, I was struggling. My inability to move or to stabilize without pain is problematic. I thought I should mention a quick note about my current Wushu training itinerary. What I've done is I've split up my Wushu training into 5 categories and set up 10 exercises for each category. This is the general framework for all of the training I'm going to be doing for the time being, and it really helps me gauge whether or not I'm improving. You know, when you do a different training every single time, it's hard to know whether or not things are getting better, but by having a very specific framework, I can tell which areas I'm getting stronger in and which areas need a bit of work. I'm going to add more variety later on, but for now, this is a really good way just to help me level up, since right now my focus is on healing and getting better. So the 5 areas are standing basics. I have 10 different combinations or exercises for standing basics. I have 10 different ones for kicking basics, 10 for stance basics, 10 for combos, and then some form work as well. Because of my ankle, I can't do all of those exercises currently, but I can try things out and see which ones I can do and do those and focus on those. My current milestone, my goal, is to be able to do at least 4 of each thing, except for the form work, completely. So 4 of each of those basic exercises. My next milestone will be 10 and then 20. If I can get to do 20 of everything pretty well, then I know I'm ready for a real workout. I can start varying things up and really explore more of what I can do with Wushu. I probably won't get to that stage until at least summer, maybe a little bit later, but we'll see how things go. So let's look at my Tuesday training video and I can share some thoughts about what I did. My ankle was feeling better, so I uncovered my Honda Super Cub and rode it down to the nearby park. My video, once again, didn't record the beginning of my training, so I didn't start capturing video until I was in the middle of my standing basics work. But it was pretty similar to last week. Was I not recording that whole time? Oh, good lord. I did my palm flashes and head snaps. I did my tiger claw basics, butterfly palms. And for the first time since I started Wushu52, I actually tried some line basics and kicks. After a few warm-ups, I could tell that I would only be able to kick my right leg since my right ankle couldn't take the torquing necessary to maintain stability for my left kicks. I did front stretch kick, Side stretch kick, which was kind of challenging. Inside kick. Outside kick. But when I got to the snap kick, I realized that my ankle didn't like that movement, so I focused instead on the mechanics of the kick and supported myself on the fence. My hip flexors are definitely pretty weak. And the same thing with the heel kicks. After the kicks, I would normally do stance work, but because of my ankle, I just practiced some supported stance holding on the jungle gym. I did horse stance, followed by empty stance, followed by high stance. And then after that, I worked on some basic combinations. I couldn't do many of them, but here you can see a Zachuan Danpaijiao Wulong Panda combo practice. And I did a few other combos as well, just to see how my ankle would affect my ability to execute the motions. It was essentially my first time doing Wushu since my joint inflammation started, so I didn't want to rush anything. At the end, I attempted a walkthrough of the compulsory Nanchuan, but I didn't make it past the intro before I was totally spent. After some short horse stance holding, I recorded a few of my thoughts. Too weak to hold the camera. That was brutal. I mean, the workout I did last week at home was hard. This was harder. And it's challenging. I mean, I can kind of walk with a hobble now. I don't need the cane, but my ankle still doesn't have much range of motion and it hurts a lot. I have a list of the things that's sort of a framework for my Wushu training. My goal is to be able to do my first milestone. Actually, my first milestone is to do one of each of these things, or two, because it's each side. Two of each of these things well, without ankle issues in one workout. So I didn't get there. There's some movements I can't do because of my mobility issues, and there's some movements that, well, I didn't get to everything. I got through most of it though. I mean, yeah, but a lot of stances I can't do. I can't do like certain stances on my right side because my ankle doesn't have the flexibility to hold those stances very well. I can barely do a mabu because even a mabu requires ankle flexibility, right? So, but I got through the standing exercises pretty well. Well, I got through them. I think I did 6 of each. Once my ankle's back to okay, once it's strong again, I can do stance work, but right now I can't. Then the issue is just leg strength. So if I just practice holding my mabu and practice the shubu and stuff, it'll at least build the foundational strength so that when I'm doing moving stance work, it won't be as bad. And then I have 10 techniques that I do, like Zachuan Danpaijiao Paidi, like the Wulong Paidi, that thing. So I just practice like 4 of each of these things.
at this point, conditioning is built into the workout. I'm so exhausted. So I'm gonna do some stretching. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, stretching time. Bye.
And then I topped the evening off with a bit of stretching before I headed home. Then on Thursday, it was back to strength training. Originally, my plan, I think, was to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday strength, and Tuesday, Saturday Wushu, and Thursday like HIIT training or cardio training. If you look at my January plan video, I think I mentioned that there. But I've adapted things because of my ankle issues. So like I said, right now I have Tuesday and Saturday as Wushu, Monday and Thursday as strength training. This is to give my body enough time to heal between workouts, since my focus right now is on recovery and healing. So on Thursday, with the workout area of my home set up, I was able to get a little bit better workout, but unfortunately my camera issues happened again and I didn't get a lot of it recorded. I don't know what's going on with my cameras. Whether I use my action cam or my 360 cam or my cell phone, sometimes it just doesn't seem to work. And my DSLR is all hooked up to my computer stuff as my webcam, so I can't really use it effectively for training video stuff. Although maybe I should. Anyway, let's take a look at Thursday's training and see what happened. So back at my strength training with the modified ATG routine, I had my equipment set up and once again, my camera had issues. But here you can see me doing some calf raises, some knee over toe calf raises, tibialis raises, a variation on a Poliquin step down, and my split squats. I also did my hamstring stretches with the slant board. And I did a bunch of other stuff that didn't get recorded, but here I am talking about it.
So I don't know why, but I'm having really bad luck with cameras today, or this past several weeks. My phone camera, it keeps putzing out on me. Like I'm getting to reset and then it will just die. The app will just crash and I'll lose the footage. But I did a bunch of stuff over there. I did some other stuff over here. After I did those curl overs, I did some knee raises. I did some lateral pulls and the TRX stuff, and then I did kettlebell swings, something else too, I think. I don't know, I'm really tired.
And after that, I tested out the straps to do tibialis raises. It was surprisingly effective, but I think the angle on the bands isn't very good, so something to fix for next time. And then finally, it was Sunday and Wushu at the park again. Saturday, I woke up too late to go do my training, unfortunately. So Sunday, I went to the park in the morning and did it then. Since I had done the Tuesday workout and it was the same general workout, I could really gauge my level. And I noticed that I had improved in a lot of areas. Because my ankle is slowly healing, I was able to do more work and get a little bit more mobility. It still hurt, but it was better. So let's take a look at Sunday's training and see how it went. Another drive, this time in the car, to the park, and I started off on Sunday with some warm-ups and stretching. I could tell that my mobility was better than Tuesday as I had better range of motion and less pain as I was going through my exercises. First up was my standing basics, again punches, palms, ready stance, palm flashes and head snaps. Non-trend stuff, you get the idea. Then it was time for kicks. Again, I did better than Tuesday and my general range of motion was a lot better. My stability had also improved now that all those small stabilizer muscles are remembering that they have a job to do. I was even able to do the front snap and front heel kicks, which I couldn't do just a few days earlier. My side kicks, however, suck pretty bad, but I've always had bad side kicks, so that isn't anything new. And I even did some slap kicks. After that, it was stance practice. It was tricky with the ankle, but I did some mabu, some gongbu, and some assisted empty and high stance holding. And I even got in a little bit of pubu. Then I started on my combos, but I didn't really make it through most of those. As I was drinking water, here's me talking about the training.
My ankle feels better. It's still not there, not even close. But I'm able to put more weight on it, which is good. I'm being very careful, as you can see. But I was able to do more basics today than I could do last time, which is improvement. So, and I'm noticing I'm able to stabilize better. I think each practice is helping those muscles adapt and remember how they used to be. So now I'm almost done. I'm just gonna do a couple walkthroughs of different parts of the form. Intro between first and second section, second and third, third and fourth, and the outro of the form, the ending of the form. And then maybe I'll try and do one just really light walk through the whole thing. I'm just doing compulsory nanchan. So let's do the nanchan.
Right, so as he said, here's a walkthrough of nanchan. I just did some transitional combos like the intro here, but to be honest, these aren't that interesting, so let me fast forward to the walkthrough of the whole form. I was pretty happy that I could walk through the form. I don't have much in terms of stances or speed, but you can see that my foundational base for doing the form is still there. And as my physical condition, strength, power, flexibility, and everything else slowly improves, my ability to get through this form will improve too. And like most of us, I've done the compulsory form so many times that I could do it in my sleep, but it's nice to know that I still remember it in the moment. So, what is my overall analysis with my training this past week? Let's start with the bad stuff. 1. The thing you didn't see in these videos is that I have not been getting enough sleep. I go to sleep too late, I wake up early, and it's not good. So I need a really consistent sleep schedule to help my body really get in a proper healing rhythm. Also, I'm not doing enough mobility training. I really need to sit down in the morning, do my mobility training, then at night before I go to bed, do my mobility training. That's the bare minimum. And while I do some mobility training, it isn't consistent. And I think that's also related to not sleeping consistently. So I think one will feed into the other. I also need to put a little more focus into my nutrition. Overall, I'm eating pretty well, lots of salads and healthy stuff, but it could be better, and I need to improve on that as well. And I guess the last bad thing is that my technique needs a lot of work. My shoulders are kind of tight. I need a jian fan song. I need to relax my shoulders. When I do the ready position, my hand slowly goes from here and it kind of shifts into this which is really bad. I need to work on that, but that'll come with time. As my mobility and flexibility increases, my range of motion increases, my fat levels go down, I'll get better at those things. So what is the good stuff? What's the positive? The positive thing is I trained twice Wushu, which is one more than I did the week before. So I'm happy that I got actual training in. I did actual line basics, things like that. That was fantastic. And I'm really happy that I'm setting the foundation of doing Wushu training regularly so that when my body heals up and I have full mobility in my ankle, I can really kind of go into a little more intensity. And overall, I'm feeling better. Even though I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm healing. And I can tell that my body is getting better, getting stronger. And each time I train and work out, I notice that my ability is increasing ever so slightly. And that's really nice. So what am I doing next week? Well, the primary thing I'm really going to focus on is consistent sleep. Go to bed at 10, wake up at 6. Every night, 8 hours of sleep, solid. And the second thing I'm going to focus on after sleep is my morning mobility training. At least get the morning one in. That's really what my key is. I want to get a habit. As soon as I wake up, I go to the floor and start doing my mobility work. That's really key. I notice a big improvement in my overall state of being and healthiness during the day if I do that. That's week 3. Week 3 in the books. Week 4 is coming up. I'm really excited to see how things progress in week 4. You know, I just want to mention, it is really hard right now to watch myself do Wushu when I'm in such bad shape. My gut, my puffiness, my lack of mobility. It is difficult to watch this stuff. It is cringy. I just don't like it. And I mean, if you think it's hard to watch yourself doing Wushu on video when you're in shape to do Wushu, just imagine how painful it is to watch yourself with a huge gut and all this gross body stuff going on and lack of mobility. It is not pleasant at all, but I know that it serves a purpose. All this frustration I'm feeling about how I look and how I feel, it's going to fuel me. As you see on the cup, fuel the woo. I mean, the coffee is fueling the woo too, but fuel the woo. I have to turn that disappointment and frustration into motivation. I talked about this in the other video about the ultimate Wushu frustration. Click there. But this isn't the end of a journey, it's the beginning of a journey. And when I see myself and I feel so disappointed in what I've become and how I've let myself go, I need to use that as fuel to improve myself, to get myself better. Self-analysis, self-critique isn't a method by which we should feel bad about ourselves. It's a method by which we should be inspired to make a change and to improve and grow. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm really working hard not to get all sad and depressed about how gross I look, and really just focus on improving myself so that each week, slowly, step by step, I get better over time. And it's a process, but it's a process I'm committed to doing for the next 52 weeks. Well, I guess now it's 49 weeks. And I really appreciate you being along for the journey. Thank you so much for watching the video, for supporting me, for all your kind comments. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And until next time, train hard. Jayo. Like every outtake video, I'm drinking coffee. Fuel the woo. By the way, logo. Someone asked me if I'm going to be selling these. That's not my plan. I just did this for fun. I think I also made a hat and a t-shirt with the logo too. Oh, you may have also seen below I have a link for Patreon. I'm not actually doing Patreon. I just set it up as an experiment to see. There are some Wushu videos I produced in the past that because of the music in the background when they're doing their forms, I can't put on YouTube. So I was trying to figure out a place I could stick them up. And I was thinking, oh, I could put them on Vimeo and then put that on Patreon. So I'm playing around with the idea of doing that and maybe setting it the lowest price point possible, like $1. So you can get all those videos through Patreon instead of on YouTube. But that's super early phase. It's the link is there and it's set up, but I don't really have anything on there yet. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but don't support me on Patreon yet. Unless you really want to. It's $1. But hold off. Wait till I actually get some stuff up there. Or if you have an idea of what I could put on Patreon, let me know below. Maybe I'm not thinking of something that I could put up there for you guys. Okay, this is no longer an outtake. This is the PS. More coffee. And